TCU, the next team on our list, and I think the third and final team in the bottom tier with a young rotation and a couple of players I want to get need to step up here, Dom.
Right. Desmond Bain, the program's all-time leading scorer, he graduated. So already, just by saying that, you can kind of assume that they're not going to have a good year. And I think that's probably going to be the case. Now, they are returning 2 double-digit scorers from last year, RJ Nemhard and Kevin Samuel. So there is some promise there. They're going to have to fill the shoes of Bain. But just when you watch TCU last year, their entire offense was run through Bain. And I really don't know how they're going to be able to not only replicate the production that he had, but they're not going to have as good of looks for the other players without Bain on the court. So they're going to be an interesting team because, like I said, they are returning 2 double-digit scorers. But when you lose your big guy, your guy that can shoot the threes, drive to the hoop, and also play good defense like Bain could, it sets up very poorly for TCU.
Big thing with TCU last year is that they were 13-5 in the middle of January, and from there went 3-11 to finish at 500. You mentioned the 2 big returners. Who is that third option going to be? That's going to be the big question for this team because we've mentioned this time and time again. It takes a complete team to be able to be successful. And they do have a few players that can be rotational pieces in the front court. And that goes from 3-star Taryn Frank, young center Eddie Lampkin. Those are a couple of guys that are going to have to be useful in, at the very least, a rotational role, maybe not that 6-man, but a 7 or 8 spot to be successful. And again, the option of number 3, who is that going to be? If opponents are able to key in on Samuel and Nemhard in a conference as competitive as the Big 12, TCU is not going to be seeing a lot of success. Can they improve a little bit? But I don't think they're going to improve much based off of their record from last year in conference play, which are 7-11. And, you know, you go 3-11 at the end of the year, that's not a good sign. Might be a sign for the worst this season, Dom.
No, and they're another one of those teams that didn't play well on the road last year, 1-9. So the 3 teams we've already mentioned last year only combined for 2 wins on the road this year. And in a year where there's probably not going to be full capacity in the stands or even any fans in the stands, those 3 teams, one way that they can certainly improve from last year is by picking up some wins on the road and taking advantage of the fact there's no fans. Now, on the flip side, TCU 14-5 at home, Iowa State 11-6 at home. Are they going to be able to replicate that home record without their home fans? The 2020-2021 season is going to be awesome, and it's little things like that are going to be so unpredictable, and it's one of the several reasons why we're all looking forward to the season.
And with as much parity as the Big 12 has too, winning road games is pretty much twice as valuable as picking up a game at home. Stealing a game on the road can be crucial in this conference with as much parity as it had last year. And